Summer is here, you're back in the office, and you feel overwhelmed by all the distractions and notifications and can't get stuff done? Here are 5 strategies from the book Deep Work by Cal Newport that will make you more successful and satisfied with your work than you've ever been. First, schedule deep work sessions. Computer science professor Cal Newport defines deep work as a professional activity performed in a state of distraction-free concentration that pushes your cognitive abilities to their limits. But not just any work. What he means is meaningful work, something worthwhile that not anybody can do. No responding to confusing emails, Slacks, Trellos, and whatnot. Cal Newport, who after including deep work hours into his day managed to double the amount of papers he normally wrote in a year plus, he wrote this bestseller book. Being able to work deeply and resisting distractions is what could separate you from everyone else, because it's increasingly harder to do and people mastering this skill are scarce. He calls it the superpower of the 21st century, and it's a common ability among successful people. A good way to learn to work deeply is to schedule a 1 to 2 hour block of deep work per day. There are 5 things that you can take care of to help you achieve working deeply, namely your location. So where can you go to limit distractions as much as possible? J.K. Rowling, for example, got a hotel suite to work on her last book. And this creates a sense of urgency and importance. Me, I like to go to Starbucks. Regardless of where you work, be sure to also give yourself a specific time frame to keep a session a discrete challenge and not an open-ended slog. Then the duration, how long do you want to work? Lex Fridman schedules 1 4-hour deep work session in the morning and 1 in the afternoon.
And now ready to hit the day hard with a 4-hour session of deep work, focused on a single thing, no interruptions. I'm usually drained but happy at the end of the session. I mean, I'm happy throughout, but I kind of dread this 4-hour session every day, which is why I hit it hard early on without reflecting, without thinking, almost like a machine. I just get the job done. That's the way I think about it.
And you are wondering why he is so successful. This is incredible and really hard to do. Remember that working deeply requires a lot of practice. It's like a habit. Start with 1 hour per day and work your way up. Training working deeply changes your brain. And there are certain requirements, like do you have everything you need on hand, like charging cable, notes, water? Because remember, you must not be distracted.
So the only interruptions that are allowed is water, coffee, bathroom, and I try to minimize those. Usually try to be just once in that 4-hour session. I stop the timer when I take that break, but I don't do anything during that break, like social media or any of that stuff. It's really, my mind is still focused on the task at hand and hitting it hard when I return to the desk.
To help you get into and maintain a state of deep work, I found it very helpful to put up my noise cancelling headphones and listen to playlists like this. A Morning Brew newsletter recently suggested instrumental funk. Yeah, that could work as well. And then lastly, the structure. What exactly do you want to accomplish? Oh yeah, that's interesting. Let's elaborate on this. 2 things are important here. How to schedule your work and how you quantify it. Schedule your day, like every hour of it. Sounds extreme? It actually gives your most important asset, your time, the respect and thoughtfulness it deserves, namely being allocated to stuff that actually matters to you and that will make you happier. Cal Newport claims that it's not easy to escape all the distractions that want to derail us from our plans to working deeply as much as possible. Scheduling your day forces you to continually take a moment throughout your day and ask, what makes sense for me to do with the time that remains? He writes that it's the habit of asking that returns results, not your unyielding fidelity to the answer. Schedule time blocks for relaxation, lunch, exercise, meditation, and significant blocks of time for speculative thinking and discussion. Cal Newport maintains a rule that if he stumbles onto an important insight, then this is a perfectly valid reason to ignore the rest of the schedule for the day. And if it loses steam, at this point he will step back and rebuild his schedule for any time that remains in the day. He uses pen and paper. I use my Apple Calendar for this. And a little tip, I schedule time-sensitive tasks in red, so if I ignore or rebuild my schedule, it doesn't get ignored. Up there you'll find a video on how I do to-dos. The book also claims the importance of setting a time where you stop work. People who make time for relaxation are significantly more creative and effective when they pick up work again. Downtime aids insights. The best way to recharge your brain is going outside. Take a walk in the woods with friends. Studies show that people who take a walk in nature perform 20% better than the ones who took a walk through the bustling center of the city. Trying to squeeze a little more work out of your evenings might actually reduce your effectiveness the next day enough that you end up getting less done than if you had instead respected a shutdown. Only the confidence that you're done with work until the next day can convince your brain to downshift to the level where it can begin to recharge for the next day to follow. And then super importantly, quantify your deep work with lead measures. Whatever goals you defined as most important, i.e. where you want to deploy most of your deep work energy on, you need to keep track of your success via lead measures as opposed to lag measures, which come too late to change your behavior. When you receive them, the performance that drove them is already in the past. So for me, lag measure would be strong channel growth by release of 52 videos per year. I can quantify at the end of the year whether I lived up to my goal by assessing how many videos I released and whether it grew my channel. If I didn't fulfill on that goal, it will be too late. Therefore, as Cal Newport suggests, I'm quantifying my deep work hours using a word counter that I reviewed in this video up there, which is a number I can directly increase by writing more. Another example for my candle business would be total annual sale, which would be a lag measure. Or I quantify something like the number of Instagram posts I'm doing to spread the brand, or the stores I'm connecting to sell the candles, or the candles I'm sending around to influencers or whoever to really grow the brand. So now we covered how to integrate deep work into your schedule and support it with routines and rituals designed to help you consistently reach the current limit of your concentration ability. Now let's significantly improve this limit. Don't take breaks from distraction. Instead, take breaks from focus. Cal Newport suggests to schedule time blocks for when you will use the internet, like really writing down when you're allowed to go online and not giving that up even if you can't complete your task without looking something up online. The idea is that the use of a distracting service does not by itself reduce your brain's ability to focus. It's instead the constant switching from low stimuli high value activities to high stimuli low value activities at the slightest hint of boredom or cognitive challenge that teaches your mind to never tolerate an absence of novelty. By segregating internet use and therefore segregating distractions, you're minimizing the number of times you give in to distraction. And by doing so, you let these attention selecting muscles strengthen. For example, if you scheduled your next internet block 30 minutes from the current moment and you're beginning to feel bored and crave distraction, the next 30 minutes of resistance become a session of concentration calisthenics. I found that when I have a task that requires deep work, I can force myself to work that way by using a timer or forcing commitment by telling the person expecting the finished project when they should expect it, and thus giving yourself a hard deadline. At this point, there should be only one possible way to get the deep tasks done in time. Working with great intensity, no email breaks, no daydreaming, no Facebook browsing, no repeated trips to the coffee machine. Just like Theodore Roosevelt at Harvard, attack the task with every free neuron until it gives way under your relentless concentration. He even goes so far to schedule online blogs during your free time. If you're waiting in line and you're in an offline blog, you simply gird yourself to the temporary boredom and fight through it with only the company of your own thoughts. To succeed with deep work, you must rewire your brain to be comfortable resisting distracting stimuli. This doesn't mean that you have to eliminate distracting behaviors. It's sufficient that you instead eliminate the ability of such behaviors to hijack your attention. One thing I did after reading Deep Work is I put my phone into do not disturb mode at all time. Add your parents and partner to favorites so their call will breach this shield against distraction. Please remember to like and subscribe if you find any value in this video. And one more thing that I really loved and implemented after reading this book is productive meditation. The goal of productive meditation is to take a period in which you're occupied physically but not mentally, like walking, jogging, driving, showering, and focus your attention on a single well-defined problem. For example, how to outline a particular YouTube video you wanted to make, or how to convince people to buy a candle online without being able to try the scent. Just like in mindful meditation, you must continuously bring back your attention to the problem you're trying to solve whenever your mind starts to wander.
If interesting ideas come into my head to try to trick me into pulling on the thread of that idea, I gently set it aside, write it down in a Google Doc to address later, so I bring my mind gently back to the focus of the task. Because ideas keep coming, but you really want to focus on the task.
The goal he suggests is to do at least 2 or 3 such sessions in a typical week. What I do is I schedule a 30-minute walk every Tuesday and Thursday during my workday, which should be possible for you too. When you notice your attention slipping away from the problem at hand, gently remind yourself that you can return to that thought later. Then redirect your attention back. The great thing about bringing back deep work into your life isn't only that it seems to be the common pattern among successful people, it was also shown to dramatically increase your general satisfaction and happiness. Most people assume that relaxation makes them happy. We want to work less and spend more time in the hammock. The truth is, though, that studies show that people are happiest when they are immersed in their work. Free time is unstructured and requires effort to be shaped into something enjoyable. For more videos on how to build your own business, check out one of the following videos. Thank you very much for watching and see you next time. Bye bye.